Steve Harvey went off script to comfort a Family Feud contestant battling PTSD. In that moment, laughter faded into a powerful testament of empathy and connection. This isn't just a game show. It's a reminder that behind every smile lies an unseen struggle. As the contestant faces their fears, unexpected support emerges, proving that kindness can change lives. Join us to witness how a single act of compassion can resonate far beyond the stage. In the vibrant world of Family Feud, the stage is alive with energy. Bright lights flash in a kaleidoscope of colors, the audience cheers with palpable excitement, and the familiar theme music fills the air, creating an electric atmosphere that resonates throughout the studio. Each episode feels like a celebration, a gathering of families competing for glory, laughter, and, of course, a chance at the grand prize. Steve Harvey, the charismatic host, stands at the center, effortlessly engaging with the contestants and audience alike. His warm smile and quick wit have endeared him to millions, making him a beloved figure in television history. But tonight, the stakes feel different. As the camera pans across the contestants, one individual stands out. A young man named Jake, visibly nervous, his hands trembling slightly as he clutches the podium. This contestant, battling the invisible wounds of PTSD, is not just here to win a game. He's here to confront his past in a very public way. The bright lights and cheerful atmosphere starkly contrast with the storm brewing inside him, a reminder of the struggles he faces daily. He had come to Family Feud hoping for fun and laughter, yet the reality of his experiences looms larger than the bright stage lights. The game begins, and the usual banter flows as Steve interacts with the other contestants, drawing laughter and applause from the audience. The energy is infectious, and for a moment, Jake allows himself to get swept up in the excitement. He watches as families cheer for one another, celebrating every correct answer with shouts and high fives. But as the moment of truth approaches, when it's finally his turn to step into the spotlight, his heart races and anxiety grips him. Memories flood his mind, flashbacks of moments that haunt him, each one a heavy weight on his shoulders. He recalls the nights spent grappling with nightmares, the days filled with an overwhelming sense of dread, and the isolation that often followed him like a shadow. As the questions get answered and points are scored, Jake finds himself lost in thought, his mind drifting to the battles he fights beyond the game. It's a struggle to maintain composure, to keep the facade of a cheerful contestant while feeling the pressure mounting inside him. The laughter around him begins to fade, replaced by the overwhelming sound of his heartbeat echoing in his ears. He knows that soon he will have to share a piece of his story, a story that he has kept hidden for far too long. The game continues, and the excitement builds as the teams compete fiercely for points. The crowd is alive with cheers, and it feels like a carnival of joy. Yet for Jake, the game is merely a backdrop to a much deeper narrative. As he prepares to step into the spotlight, he grapples with the fear of vulnerability. The audience, oblivious to his internal battle, cheers for the game, unaware that this moment will be about more than just points on a scoreboard. With each passing round, the atmosphere thickens with tension. The laughter of the audience, the claps of family members, and the playful jabs between contestants create a vibrant tapestry of camaraderie. But Jake feels like a spectator in his own life, watching a show unfold while battling an inner turmoil that threatens to consume him. When it's finally his turn to speak, he feels the weight of countless eyes upon him. This is not just a chance to win a game. It's an opportunity to share his truth, to break the silence surrounding his struggles. The moment feels monumental, and as he takes a deep breath, He wonders if he is ready to reveal the scars that have shaped him. As the buzzer sounds, signaling the end of the round, the audience erupts in applause. Steve Harvey, sensing the young man's unease, offers a reassuring smile. It's a small gesture, but in that moment, it feels like a lifeline, a bridge between his anxiety and the warmth of human connection. The energy shifts slightly, and Jake realizes he's not alone. With the stage set, he prepares to face not only the game, but also the challenge of opening up about his journey. Steve, ever the master of ceremonies, steps closer to Jake, his eyes filled with genuine curiosity and concern. "You're doing great, man. Just remember, it's all in good fun," he says, his voice booming with encouragement. The audience senses the sincerity in his tone and responds with supportive cheers. For a fleeting moment, Jake feels the tension in his chest loosen. He absorbs the energy of the crowd, their laughter, their smiles, and it begins to weave a tapestry of courage around him. In the background, the other contestants are celebrating their successes, but Jake's focus narrows to the microphone before him. He can feel the warmth of the spotlight, the weight of the moment pressing down. And yet, he knows he has a story to tell. As he prepares himself, he recalls the voices of those who have supported him in his darkest times, the friends who stood by him, the therapists who listened without judgment, and even strangers who shared their own battles. His thoughts race as the next question is posed, but he can hardly hear it over the roar of his internal dialogue. The question asked is simple enough, but for Jake, it feels like a catalyst. "What is your favorite family tradition?" He hesitates, the words hanging in the air like a fragile promise. A part of him wants to deflect, to hide behind the laughter and joy of the game, but another part, a louder part, urges him to speak. With a deep breath, he steps forward, and as he begins to speak, he opens his heart. "Well, my family has always had this tradition of gathering for Sunday dinners. It's a time for us to reconnect, share stories, and support one another." He starts, his voice shaking slightly, but growing steadier with each word. "But it means even more to me now, especially after everything I've been through." The audience quiets, sensing the shift in the air. Steve's expression becomes serious, his eyes locked onto Jake's, encouraging him to continue. "I've struggled with PTSD for a while now," Jake admits, the vulnerability spilling out as he shares his truth. "There were times when I felt so alone. But those dinners, they remind me that I'm not. My family is there for me, and that love helps me fight my battles." As he speaks, the atmosphere changes. The audience listens intently, some nodding in understanding, others wiping away tears. It's a moment that transcends the game, a raw and honest portrayal of the human experience. The laughter fades into a respectful silence, and even the other contestants seem to hold their breath, captivated by the depth of Jake's revelation. With the stage set, a new narrative begins to unfold, one that highlights the importance of compassion and connection. In this moment of vulnerability, Jake finds strength, and in sharing his story, he inspires others. It's a reminder that while the game is entertaining, the true essence of Family Feud lies in the bonds we create and the support we offer one another. As the applause washes over him, Jake feels an unexpected surge of relief. The weight of unspoken truths, which had once felt insurmountable, begins to lift, replaced by a sense of community that he never anticipated. The audience's reaction, an outpouring of support, feels like a collective embrace, and he realizes that his vulnerability has sparked something much greater than a mere game show moment. It has opened the door to a conversation that is often shrouded in silence. Steve Harvey, with his trademark charm, takes a moment to acknowledge the significance of what Jake has just shared. Let's give it up for Jake, everyone. Sharing takes a lot of courage, and we appreciate you for being so open, he says, his voice resonating through the studio. The audience erupts in applause once more, their cheers echoing the sentiment of solidarity. It's a powerful reminder that stories matter, especially those that resonate with the struggles of many. In the days following the episode, social media lights up with responses. Clips of Jake's heartfelt moment go viral, leading to an influx of messages from viewers who are inspired by his bravery. People begin to share their own stories of mental health struggles, and the hashtag #BreakTheSilence trends, creating a wave of awareness that spreads beyond the confines of the studio. Jake receives countless messages from individuals who resonate with his experiences, each one a testament to the power of vulnerability. Jake's phone buzzes incessantly with notifications, each message a reminder of the impact of his words. Some offer words of encouragement, while others share their own battles with PTSD and anxiety. "Thank you for speaking up," one message reads. "I felt so alone until I heard you. You've inspired me to seek help." Another simply says, "You're not alone. We're in this together." Each message fills Jake with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. He had come to Family Feud hoping for a fun experience, but he never imagined that opening up would resonate so deeply with others. Meanwhile, the producers of Family Feud are quick to recognize the significance of the moment. They decide to feature a follow-up segment, inviting mental health professionals to discuss the importance of addressing mental health openly. This initiative is met with enthusiasm, as the show aims to create a safe space for conversation and healing. Jake is invited back to share more of his journey, and he feels a mix of excitement and nerves. The opportunity to continue the dialogue feels like a responsibility, but it's one he's willing to embrace. As the follow-up episode approaches, Jake prepares himself for the spotlight once again. He spends time reflecting on his experiences, considering what he wants to share. The reality of his journey is complex, filled with moments of darkness and despair, but also of resilience and hope. He understands that while sharing his story can be daunting, it is also a chance to connect with others who might be feeling lost. On the day of the taping, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. The studio is filled with familiar faces, both from the previous episode and new contestants eager to participate. As he walks onto the set, Jake feels the familiar rush of adrenaline, but this time it's accompanied by a sense of purpose. He knows that his words can make a difference, and that knowledge fuels his confidence. Steve greets him with a warm smile. "Welcome back, Jake. We're glad to have you here again. Last time, you touched so many hearts. Are you ready to keep the conversation going?" Steve's sincerity shines through, and Jake nods, feeling the weight of the moment. "Absolutely. I want to talk about how important it is for people to feel like they can share their struggles without fear." As the cameras roll, the discussion begins. Jake shares more about his journey with PTSD, the moments that led him to seek help, the challenges he faced, and the small victories that kept him moving forward. He speaks candidly about the stigma surrounding mental health, emphasizing how it can prevent people from reaching out for support. "I used to think I had to face everything alone," he explains. "But I've learned that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a step toward healing." The audience listens intently, the atmosphere charged with empathy. Jake's vulnerability resonates, and as he speaks, a sense of camaraderie builds. people nod in understanding, some even tearing up as they relate to his experiences. Steve facilitates the conversation, introducing mental health professionals who provide valuable insights and advice. They discuss the importance of support systems, therapy, and the various ways individuals can cope with their mental health challenges. "Jake, your story is incredibly powerful," one of the therapists remarks. "It's vital for people to know that they are not alone in their struggles. Sharing your experiences can help others feel validated and encourage them to seek help." As the conversation unfolds, viewers at home begin to see the importance of breaking the silence surrounding mental health. After the taping, Jake is overwhelmed with gratitude. The response is overwhelmingly positive, with viewers expressing appreciation for the honest conversation. Social media continues to buzz with hashtags promoting mental health awareness, and Jake feels a sense of purpose he never expected. He realizes that he has become part of a movement, one that aims to illuminate the path for others who may still be in the shadows. Days turn into weeks, and the ripple effects of Jake's appearance continue to spread. He receives invitations to speak at schools, community centers, and mental health events, sharing his story and encouraging others to open up about their own struggles. Each opportunity is a chance to foster understanding and support, and Jake embraces it wholeheartedly. He understands that every conversation he has can potentially save a life. One evening, after a particularly moving talk at a local high school, a student approaches him, tears in her eyes. "Thank you for sharing your story," she says softly. "I've been dealing with anxiety, and hearing you talk about it made me feel like I'm not alone." In that moment, Jake realizes the profound impact of his journey, not just for himself, but for those who are inspired by his willingness to be open. As Jake reflects on how far he has come since that fateful day on Family Feud, he understands that the journey toward healing is ongoing. He is grateful for the support he has received, the connections he has made, and the lives he has touched. With each story shared, he feels the weight of stigma lifting, replaced by a growing sense of community and understanding. In a world that often values silence over vulnerability, Jake has chosen to break the silence. And in doing so, he has not only changed his own life, but has also ignited a movement, one that encourages others to share their truths, seek help, and embrace the power of connection. As he looks ahead, he knows that the journey is far from over, but he is ready to face whatever comes next, knowing he is not alone. As the weeks pass, Jake continues to embrace his newfound role as a mental health advocate. His appearance on Family Feud has sparked a profound transformation, not just within himself, but in the lives of those who have reached out to him. With every school talk, community event, and social media post, he feels a sense of purpose that ignites a fire within him. One afternoon, Jake sits at his kitchen table, surrounded by notes and messages from people who have shared their stories with him. Each letter is a testament to the impact he's made, and he reads them with a mix of humility and gratitude. One message stands out. "You helped me find the courage to talk to my parents about my depression. I felt like I was drowning, but now I have hope." Tears prick at the corners of his eyes as he reflects on the power of connection and the importance of honesty. Inspired by these messages, Jake decides to organize a community event focused on mental health awareness. He envisions a day filled with workshops, speakers, and resources for those struggling with mental health issues. His goal is to create a safe space for open discussions and to foster a sense of community. He reaches out to local mental health organizations, schools, and even the producers of Family Feud, hoping to collaborate and amplify the message. As he begins to plan the event, Jake feels a mix of excitement and nervousness. He knows the importance of the topic, But he also understands the challenges of bringing people together to discuss mental health openly. Many still carry the stigma, fearing judgment or misunderstanding. He reminds himself that every journey begins with a single step, and that by creating this event, he can help others take that step toward healing. The day of the event arrives, and Jake stands at the entrance of the community center, welcoming attendees with a warm smile. The room is filled with colorful banners promoting mental health resources, and tables are lined with pamphlets and information. The atmosphere buzzes with anticipation as people gather, chatting nervously while sipping on coffee and munching on snacks. Jake feels a surge of hope as he watches individuals from all walks of life come together for a common purpose. As the opening remarks begin, Jake takes the stage, heart racing with excitement. He looks out at the crowd, a diverse mix of ages and backgrounds, and feels a profound sense of connection. "Thank you all for being here today," he starts, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "I know how difficult it can be to talk about mental health, but today is about breaking down those barriers and supporting one another." Throughout the day, various speakers share their experiences and insights, each story resonating with the crowd. A therapist discusses the importance of therapy and coping mechanisms, while a young woman shares her journey of recovery from anxiety and depression. As each speaker takes the stage, Jake watches the audience's reactions, nodding heads, tears in eyes, and even laughter as shared experiences resonate deeply. During a breakout session, Jake leads a discussion on the importance of community support. He feels a blend of nerves and excitement as he encourages attendees to share their thoughts and experiences. "We all have a story," he says, his voice strong. "And when we share those stories, we create connections that can change lives." One participant, an older gentleman, raises his hand. "I've never talked about my struggles with anyone," he admits, his voice trembling. "Hearing you and the others today has inspired me to reach out for help." The room falls silent as he speaks, the weight of his words hanging in the air. It's a moment of vulnerability, and Jake feels a surge of gratitude for the courage it takes to share such personal experiences. As the event continues, Jake notices a young girl sitting at the back of the room, her eyes wide as she listens intently. During a break, he approaches her, introducing himself. "Hi there, I'm Jake. What do you think of the event so far?" The girl, shy but eager, replies, "I didn't know it was okay to talk about feeling sad. I thought I was the only one." Her words strike a chord with Jake, and he realizes just how vital this event is for the younger generation. The day wraps up with a panel discussion featuring mental health professionals and advocates, including some familiar faces from Family Feud. They answer questions from the audience, providing valuable insights and advice. As the discussion unfolds, the energy in the room shifts to one of empowerment. Attendees leave feeling informed, inspired, and less alone in their struggles. After the event, Jake receives a flurry of messages and feedback. Attendees express their gratitude for the experience, sharing how it has encouraged them to seek help or talk to loved ones about their mental health. One message reads, "Today changed my life. I never felt like I could speak up, but now I know I'm not alone." Each message reinforces Jake's belief in the power of community and conversation. In the weeks that follow, the impact of the event continues to unfold. Local news outlets cover the story, highlighting Jake's journey and the importance of mental health awareness. The hashtag #JustBreakTheSilence gains traction, and Jake finds himself invited to speak at even more events, including schools, corporate gatherings, and community forums. As he stands on different stages, sharing his story and encouraging others, Jake feels an overwhelming sense of purpose. He is reminded of how far he has come since that moment on Family Feud, where he first found the courage to speak up. Every time he shares his experiences, he knows he is helping to dismantle the stigma surrounding mental health. However, amidst the success and recognition, Jake remains grounded. He understands that his journey is ongoing. While he has made significant strides, he still has moments of doubt and vulnerability. He continues to attend therapy, recognizing the importance of self-care and support in his own life. He is committed to his own growth, understanding that healing is not linear. One evening, while reflecting on his journey, Jake sits in his living room, surrounded by notes and letters from people whose lives have been touched by his story. He thinks about the girl who felt she was alone, and the older gentleman who found the courage to speak up. These moments remind him that every story shared, every conversation initiated, can create a ripple effect that reaches far beyond what he can see. As he prepares for another speaking engagement, Jake reflects on the importance of remaining authentic and vulnerable. He knows that sharing his journey is not just about raising awareness. It's about fostering connection and understanding. He wants others to know that it's okay to seek help, to feel their emotions, and to share their stories. With each step he takes, Jake feels a sense of responsibility to continue breaking the silence surrounding mental health. He understands that his story is just one of many, but it is a story that can inspire change, ignite hope, and encourage others to embrace their own journeys. As the months roll on, Jake finds himself deepening his commitment to mental health advocacy. His efforts have sparked a movement in his community, but with increased visibility comes an unexpected weight. While he thrives on the connections he's made and the lives he's touched, Jake also grapples with the complexities of his own mental health journey. One evening, after a long day of speaking engagements and community meetings, Jake returns home feeling exhausted. The excitement of the events often leaves him buzzing with adrenaline. But once the applause fades, he is confronted with the silence of his own thoughts. He collapses onto the couch, running a hand through his hair, feeling the familiar tension in his shoulders. The reality of his struggles with PTSD and anxiety returns, reminding him that the journey toward healing is ongoing. Jake has been open about his past, sharing his experiences with others in hopes of normalizing conversations around mental health. But lately, he has noticed a creeping anxiety that threatens to overshadow his progress. Nights are often filled with restlessness, and the flashbacks he thought were behind him have begun to resurface. It's as if the very act of sharing his story has stirred up unresolved feelings, and he finds himself questioning whether he is truly equipped to lead this conversation. Determined to confront these feelings, Jake reaches out to his therapist, Dr. Collins, for guidance. During their session, he speaks candidly about the pressure he feels as an advocate. "I want to help others, but I feel like I'm failing to help myself. It's hard to be a beacon of hope when I'm still navigating my own darkness," he confesses, his voice thick with emotion. Dr. Collins listens attentively, nodding in understanding. "Jake, it's important to remember that being an advocate doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You're human, and it's okay to have challenges along the way. Your willingness to share those struggles can actually resonate with others who may feel the same way." Jake reflects on this, realizing that perhaps he had placed unrealistic expectations on himself. He had always admired advocates who seemed to have it all together, and now, feeling vulnerable and uncertain, he questions his own validity in this role. "But what if people see me as a fraud?" he asks, his heart racing at the thought. "What if they think I'm not credible because I'm still struggling?" Dr. Collins reassures him, "Your authenticity is what makes you relatable. People connect with your story because it's real. Sharing your challenges can empower others to do the same. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest." As the session concludes, Jake leaves with a renewed sense of purpose. He understands that the road to healing is not linear and that it's okay to acknowledge his struggles openly. He resolves to embrace his vulnerability rather than hide from it, recognizing that it can be a source of strength. The following week, Jake has the opportunity to speak at a mental health conference, a significant event that draws advocates, professionals, and individuals seeking support from across the region. The anticipation in the air is palpable as attendees gather to listen to a lineup of speakers, each sharing their unique perspectives and experiences. As he prepares to take the stage, Jake feels a familiar mix of excitement and anxiety. The bright lights and eager faces stare back at him, but this time, he reminds himself to focus on authenticity. He steps up to the microphone, takes a deep breath, and begins to speak. "Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be here today," he begins, his voice steady. "I want to share my story, but I also want to acknowledge the challenges that come with sharing it. I've been on a journey of healing from PTSD, and while I've made significant progress, I still face moments of doubt and anxiety." The audience listens intently, and he can see nods of recognition. It's easy to feel pressure to be the perfect advocate. But I've learned that it's okay to struggle. In fact, it's during those times of vulnerability that we connect the most. If I can share my darkest moments and still stand here today, then I hope it encourages you to embrace your own journey. As he speaks, Jake notices the audience's reactions: tears, smiles, and thoughtful expressions. He feels a sense of camaraderie with those in the room, each person carrying their own stories and challenges. It's a reminder that everyone has a unique path, and the beauty of advocacy lies in the shared experiences that connect them all. After his talk, many attendees approach him, expressing gratitude for his honesty. A woman in her 50s, her eyes brimming with tears, tells Jake, "Hearing you speak about your struggles made me realize I'm not alone. I've been hesitant to talk about my own mental health issues, but your words gave me courage." Jake feels a swell of emotion as they connect. "Thank you for sharing that with me. It's conversations like these that can change lives," he replies, grateful for the opportunity to inspire others. As the conference comes to a close, Jake reflects on the power of vulnerability. He realizes that by sharing his challenges, he not only helps others, but also fosters a deeper understanding within himself. Each conversation, each moment of connection, reinforces the idea that healing is a communal journey. In the following weeks, Jake continues to share his story, but he also prioritizes self-care. He schedules regular therapy sessions, practices mindfulness, and engages in activities that bring him joy, like hiking and painting. He learns to balance advocacy and self-care, understanding that both are essential to his well-being. One evening, while hiking through a nearby nature trail, Jake pauses to take in the beauty around him. The sun sets over the horizon, casting a warm glow on the landscape. He feels a sense of peace in this moment, a reminder that nature has a way of grounding him. As he breathes in the fresh air, he reflects on how far he has come and the importance of embracing both the light and the shadows of his journey. Back at home, he sits down to write in his journal, a practice he has found therapeutic. He pens his thoughts, capturing the highs and lows of his experiences. "Today, I faced challenges, but I also found moments of joy," he writes. "I'm learning to accept that I don't have to have it all figured out. My story is still unfolding, and that's okay. Jake's journey toward healing continues, marked by both triumphs and setbacks. He understands that being an advocate doesn't mean having all the answers. It's about fostering a space for open dialogue and connection. Each day brings new opportunities to learn, grow, and inspire, and he embraces the challenges that come with it. As he closes his journal, Jake feels a renewed sense of purpose. He knows that the road ahead may still be paved with obstacles, but he is ready to face them. With the support of his community, the guidance of his therapist, and the love of those around him, he is committed to both his own healing and the healing of others. In this journey of breaking the silence, Jake understands that vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a powerful tool for connection and understanding. He is not just an advocate. He is a fellow traveler on the path to healing, and together, they can create a ripple effect that transforms lives. As the new year begins, Jake prepares for a pivotal moment in his advocacy journey, a national mental health summit. Excited yet apprehensive, he refines his speech, focusing on community, compassion, and systemic change. When he speaks at the summit, he shares his journey, emphasizing the importance of vulnerability and connection in mental health. The audience responds positively, reinforcing his commitment to advocacy. After the summit, Jake reflects on the work still needed in mental health care. He decides to create a comprehensive resource guide for individuals seeking mental health support, collaborating with local nonprofits and community leaders. Gathering input through focus groups, he ensures that the resources reflect the needs of those with lived experiences. Jake partners with Sarah, a young woman he met at the summit, who offers to help with outreach. Together, they brainstorm workshops and events to accompany the resource guide's launch. Despite moments of self-doubt, Jake leans on his support system, reminding himself that every small step counts. On the day of the resource guide's launch, Jake addresses the community, celebrating not just the guide, but the movement it represents. The event is a success, with attendees sharing stories and forming connections. Jake feels a profound sense of gratitude for the collective effort that brought the initiative to life. Reflecting on his journey, Jake realizes he has grown from a lost individual into a passionate advocate. He embraces this new beginning, ready to continue creating a world where everyone feels seen and supported in their mental health journey.